Hi students, welcome to our channel. So இந்த வீடியோவில் நம்ம 10th இங்கிலீஷ்க்கு இந்த half yearly 2025க்கான இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டான கொஷின்ஸ் ப்ரோஸ்லையும் போயம்லையும் என்னென்னு பார்க்க போகிறோம். இதை பார்க்குறதுக்கு மேலே நீங்கள் இன்னும் நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணல என்ன பண்ணிக்கோங்க, மறக்காமல் இந்த வீடியோக்கும் ஒரு லைக் போட்டுக்கோங்க அண்ட் வாட்ஸ்அப் சேனலில் ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கிறங்க. லிங்க் இந்த வீடியோட டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனில் தந்திருக்கேன். அப்போ தான் நீங்கள் ஃபியூச்சரில் எந்த ஒரு வீடியோவையும் மிஸ் பண்ணாமல் பார்க்க முடியும். இப்போ ப்ரோஸ்லையும் போயம்லையும் நமக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய முக்கியமான கொஸ்டின்ஸ் 10th இங்கிலீஷ்க்கு என்னென்னதான் நம்ம இந்த வீடியோவில் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம். இதில் சொல்லக்கூடிய எந்த ஒரு கொஸ்டினை நீங்கள் ஒமிட் பண்ணாமல் எல்லாத்தையும் நல்லா தரவாக படிச்சுக்கிறங்க. கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் வந்து இந்த ஹாஃப் இயர்லி எக்ஸாமினேஷனில் 10th இங்கிலீஷில் நல்ல மார்க்ஸ் ஸ்கோர் பண்ண முடியும். அதுக்கான அஷூரன்ஸ் நான் தரேன். ஸோ லாஸ்ட் வரைக்கும் உங்களுக்கு பப்ளிக் எக்ஸாம் வரைக்கும் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக எல்லா சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்க்குமே நம்ம சேனலில் வந்து உங்களுக்கு நம்ம கைடன்ஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ தொடர்ந்து உங்களுடைய சப்போர்ட் கொடுங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம ப்ரோஸ்னுடைய கொஸ்டின் ஆன்சர்ஸ் எதெல்லாம் முக்கியமானதுன்னு பார்த்துருவோம். Prose 1. What did the young bird do to seek the attention of his parents? Why did the seagull fail to fly? What prompted the young seagull to fly finally? What made the young seagull go mad? How was the young seagull's first attempt to fly? Did the mother bird offer any food to the young bird? Why did the young bird utter a joyful scream? How did the parents support and encourage the young bird's brothers and sisters? What happened to the young seagull when it landed on the green sea? What was the first catch of the young seagull's older brother? Prose 2. What woke up the mother? Who were the narrator's neighbors? Why did Herman and the author slam the doors? Who used the zither and how? What did the Bardwells think when they heard the mother's shout? How did the cops manage to enter the locked house? What was the grandfather wearing? What did the narrator think the unusual sound was? Prose 3. What does the term circumnavigation mean? Who mentored the crew? What does INSV stand for? When was INSV Tarini commissioned to the Indian Navy? Who is Tara Tarini? When did they witness the brilliant southern lights from the sea? Mention the special features of INSV Tarini. How many days did it take to complete the expedition? What sort of training did the crew undergo before their expedition? Mention the celebrations which the crew enjoyed during their expedition. What festival did they celebrate during their voyage? Which factor motivated the crew to undertake this expedition? Where did the crew undergo their basic training? Prose 4. Why was the Attic a favorite place for the children? Who were Aditya's ancestors? What was the daily routine of Sanyal? What did Aditya offer Sanyal? Where was Nagan uncle's shop? What was the condition of the attic? How did Sanyal show that he had a sense of self-respect? What did Aditya visit? Why did Aditya decide to visit his ancestral house? What was engraved on the medal? Prose 5. How many people in India suffer from disability? What devices help David move from one place to another? How does David operate computers with the Liberator communication device? How did Kim help Alisa? Do you think technology has improved communication? How? What are the benefits of the internet to the common man? Which software helps Alisa to overcome her difficulty in typing? Which devices are controlled using Act4 controller? Which instrument does David control with his eye movement? Why is technology important according to David? Prose 6. What did M. Hamel say about the French language? What was France sorry for? How many years had Hamel been in the village? What kind of news was usually put up on the notice board? When and how did M. Hamel bid farewell to the class? Why did Mr. Hamel blame himself? Why did Franz need to go to school that day? What were the various things that tempted Franz to spend his day outdoors, other than the students who were present in the class? Prose 7. Who arrested Smith? What were the charges against him? How was Holmes able to look sick? Who is Mr. Culverton Smith? What were the instructions given by Holmes to Watson? Why did Holmes let Watson examine him? Why didn't the landlady call the doctor? Who was Mrs. Hudson? Why was she worried? The prose level. Next poem paranga. First poem. Whom does the word be refer to? What kind of life does the poet want to lead? How is the way of life? How should be the journey of life? What kind of quest does the poet seek here? What is the poet's hope? Why do you think that the poet is not in a hurry? What should one not mourn for? What does the poet mean by the phrase in the dim past? Is the poet afraid of the future? Poem 2. What does the poet expect everyone to learn? What should we do when things go wrong sometimes? Where does the family live? Why do you think the street is named as Complaining Street? In which city do the Grumble family live? Where is city located? What is beside them? What is their reaction to the sun or the rain? Are they pleased with anything? What is your opinion about the folks you meet down the street? What does the word gloomy mean here? What is the wisest thing that the poet suggests? What does the phrase to keep our feet from wandering mean? Why do they find everything amiss? Next, poem 3. How is a woman? What does she symbolize? What is she strong about? What does the word persistence mean here? What does she deal with the adversities in life? Is she complaining about the problems of life? Pick out the words that show her grit. How is today's woman? How should a woman be treated? Who is a prankster? What does the word summer mean here? Is the poet talking about the women of the previous generation? Who does you refer to? What do the words tha and sa mean here? Poem 4. Who does he refer to? Mention the seasons when he could not see a flower or a leaf on a tree. What made the cricket bold? Why did it drip and tremble? Whom did the cricket want to meet? Why? What would keep him alive? Why was his cupboard empty? What was the routine of the cricket? Name the seasons mentioned here. Why do you think ants neither borrow nor lend? Who does I refer to? What did it do all day and night? What did the ant question the cricket? What do you mean by quoth? Next, poem 5. Who does we refer to? What do they or the machines ask for? How much space does the machine require? How are they made to fit? Who does you refer to? Whose task is referred here? Who will serve us 24 hours? Can the machines do any task without human beings? What is a furnace? What is wrought? Where are they melted? Next, poem 6. What is common for all of us, or what is same for every one of us? How are we fed? Mention the season referred here. Whom does there refer to? What does not differ? What does the poet mean by lines we read? What outrages the innocence? Who are not foreign? What is found beneath all uniforms? Where are we all going to live finally? Poem 7. What does it refer to? What happened inside it? What is found near the house? Why does it never grow leaves? Pick out the words that indicate the size of it. Does the poet know what happened inside the house? In what way the tree is mystery? Does the house remain the same every day? How does the poet consider the house to be a mystery? Who knows what happened in the house? Who drive past the house? What season is mentioned here? How does the house look every day? That's it. சரியா? இதோட PDF லிங்க் நான் வீடியோ டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷனில் தரேன், டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. தேங்க்யூ.